The skill I will be addressing today in my final project is a backstroke flip turn. Angelica is a 15-year-old girl who just made the varsity swim team at her high school. She is extremely athletic. She wakes up at 5 a.m. every morning and lifts until 6 a.m., and then she goes to swim team practice until 8 a.m. and comes back for afternoon practice from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Angelica has been swimming competitively since she was 5 years old for the Elk Grove Stingrays, and her favorite event is the 200 IM. Angelica suffered a very bad concussion when she was 6 years old from diving into the shallow end of a pool, and ever since then she has suffered from anxiety of hitting and injuring her head. Angelica's varsity coach has chosen 3 events for her to swim this season: 100 backstroke, 200 IM, and 500 freestyle. Angelica is great at backstroke, but there is one flaw that if fixed could improve her time greatly. Angelica's flaw is that she uses an open turn in her backstroke event because she is scared she will hit her head in a regular flip turn. Her coach believes that if she learns how to use a flip turn, that her time will decrease by at least 2 seconds, which means she will break the school record. This would make Angelica the youngest athlete to break a school record at Elk Grove High School. Angelica has agreed to stay 30 minutes after practice each day until she has perfected her backstroke flip turn at a competitive level. Her coach will start her off by practicing the movement away from the wall and slowly getting her comfortable with being near the wall and performing a rapid and fluid movement. The top picture is Angelica taking off for her 100 backstroke, and the bottom picture is Angelica on her last lap of the event. She is a great athlete and holds the best times for multiple events on her high school swim team. Angelica is very competitive and wants to be the youngest athlete to break a school record at her high school. Though she is struggling because ever since her injury at age 6, her anxiety is very bad and she does not want to hit her head and be out for part of the season. The skill she needs to learn to be successful in meeting this goal by the end of the season is a backstroke flip turn. An example will be provided through the video on the following slide. Ultimately, she will use her backstroke flip turn for the 3 flip turns required in her 100 backstroke event. She will need to be able to execute her backstroke flip turn at her most competitive level in order to break the record. Following are the steps to making a plan to ensure her success. This video shows Angelica's target skill, a backstroke flip turn. According to the University of Minnesota Department of Kinesiology, a target skill is a skill in which a person strives to be able to perform. As you can see, the girls are proceeding down the pool, doing their 100 backstroke event. One stroke away from the wall, they turn over, do their flip turn, and push off still on the back. These are the aspects of Angelica's skill. At ages 15 to 18, female, varsity level swimmers is the competition focus. We want her skills to match those of her competitors. Her experience with a regular flip turn is high, but she has no experience with a backstroke flip turn. Her swimming abilities are extremely high. She has a great sense of awareness in the water and is very strong and fast, which is important in executing this skill. Her arousal and anxiety are high due to fear of injury and introduction of a new skill, which is why the steps will be slow and direct in working on this skill. Once the skill is learned and practiced, it becomes very natural and fluid. She will follow the program steps provided, and she cannot go on to the next step until the previous one has been fully achieved. Parameter learning will account for her success in measuring her stroke, speed, and accuracy of her flip turn. Error detection will be immediate through feedback from her coach as well as video feedback, and immediately after feedback is given, she will perform the instructions that were given to her until the error is fixed. What? A backstroke flip turn focuses on several actions put together, and if not done correctly, the swimmer can either be disqualified or their time will increase, hurting their placement. This is a cognitive skill. Angelica holds control over when and how she will perform her flip turn. She holds the key to her own success. She must think of the action she will be performing. Without thought to control her motor skills, it will be hard to learn the way to do the backstroke flip turn, especially due to all the components involved. A backstroke flip turn is a closed skill, allowing Angelica adequate time to plan ahead through practice and thought. This also allows for spatial accuracy. By using her surroundings, Angelica knows she must use her flip turn. She knows the wall, which is the stimulus, is present. She can use the flags in her stroke count to anticipate her distance from the stimulus. This skill is a closed loop system. It combines many movements. It is fast and controlled, but requires thought and can be corrected while using the movements such as adjusting a longer stroke if she turns too early and is far from the wall. Through this immediate feedback, the flip turn can be improved mid-turn or mid-race. The order in which she will process her demands includes 1. Using the flags, stroke count, and other swimmers and distance markers from the wall. 2. She can choose to use an open turn or a flip turn, and in this scenario, she will use the flip turn to help improve her time. 3. She will prepare by flipping over, taking a stroke, holding her breath, contracting her muscles to turn, and forcefully pushing off the wall on her back. Where? Varsity high school level competitive environment. Below is a picture of Angelica and her varsity teammates. The pool in the background is a typical pool in which they will compete, which is a 25-yard pool. Following is her instructional plan. Step 1. Angelica will perform her 100 backstroke with the open turn. She will swim this event 3 times, and she will be timed and videotaped for all 3. The video and times from these 3 trials will be used to help with feedback and tracking progression. Step 2. Angelica will start out watching the instructional video shown on the next slide. Then we will have Angelica watch videos of her teammates and professional athletes using a backstroke flip turn. During this, we will make sure she is observant of how many strokes it takes each swimmer from the flags to the rollover and how much distance they leave between themselves and the wall. This will give her a realistic idea of what is expected in a backstroke flip turn. This will also help her to transfer what she has seen to the actual execution of the skill, as well as make her observant of how similar it is to a regular flip turn used during freestyle. After the initial instructional video, each video after that will be from a competition because that is her target context. This video is a concise way of instructing Angelica at a level appropriate for her age and capability.
Hi and welcome to simplyswim.com. Today we're going to be looking at the perfect backstroke tumble turn. When going to turn, you continue to swim at the wall at a pace. When approximately 1 metre from the wall, turn onto the front by reaching around with the leading arm and looking around with the head so the body will naturally follow. Keep the leading arm extended ahead and the other arm by your side, then pull the leading arm into the body, tucking the chin to the chest and rotate the body over. Place both feet on the wall, toes facing upwards towards the surface and about shoulder width apart. The knees will be bent, so when in a sturdy position, push off the wall in streamline. A few butterfly leg kicks will give you a bit of power, and when ready to head to the surface, begin a normal backstroke kick. Pull with one arm to break the surface and begin swimming another length of backstroke. A great tip for those who are concerned about hitting their head against the wall: try counting the number of arm pulls you make from the 5 metre flags to the wall and finishing. Reduce this stroke count by 1, then turn. This way you will never have to worry about colliding with the wall again.
As you can see, this is a great instructional video to help Angelica get started on her backstroke flip turn. It addresses each component of the turn, and it also helps to address the fear that she has of hitting her head on the wall. We hope that by watching this video, it can help to ease some of her anxiety and arousal levels going into her first practice. Step 3 will consist of goal setting. Angelica and her coaches will sit down and come up with a realistic timeline for her progress through the steps assigned to her and when they should realistically be completed by. Her outcome goal is to successfully execute a backstroke flip turn at her most competitive level, fastest time of the 100 backstroke event, and beat the school record. Her performance goals: first, to be able to perform a full-length 25-yard with a backstroke flip turn, then a 50-yard backstroke with a flip turn at a medium pace. Next, a 100-yard backstroke, fast-paced with a flip turn, then a timed competitive level 100-yard backstroke with a flip turn. Process goals that she will have: time the flip from back to stomach correctly and use a quick tuck. Flip and turn in a fluid fashion while forcefully pushing off with the legs at a 90-degree angle. Angelica will start at the wall, push off, take 8 strokes, and perform a backstroke flip turn in the middle of the pool away from the wall. This will not allow her to practice her push-off, rather it will help her to focus on the rollover to stroke to tuck technique without worry of hitting her head. Step 5. Angelica will start in the middle of the pool and swim as fast as she can into the wall from the flags to the wall, so she can count her strokes. She will do this until she gets the same number of strokes 3 times in a row. The arrow points to where the swimmer turns from their back to stomach to begin the turn. This is another great visual to show her the amount of distance between her and the wall to help ease her anxiety of hitting her head. Step 6. Angelica will start in the middle of the pool and swim at a slower pace. She will take 1 stroke off the number she counted before. It took her 6 strokes before, so on stroke 5, she will roll over onto her stomach and glide into the wall. By swimming slowly, this will allow her to realize that she is not dangerously close to the wall when she turns, and that if her strokes are counted right, she will have no chance of hitting her head. Because this is one specific skill we are focusing on, she will use constant practice and practice the backstroke flip turn at a slow pace until she seems comfortable and fluid in her movement. Constant practice goes hand in hand with block practice in that she will perform flip turn after flip turn after flip turn until the results desired from the step are met. Step 7. Angelica will start on one end of the pool, swimming backstroke. When she sees the flags, she will take 4 strokes and slowly turn onto her stomach and do a flip turn, pushing off the wall still on her back. She will practice this until she feels comfortable to practice at a faster speed and increase the speed of her turn. When she pushes off on her back from the flip turn, she will continue swimming until halfway down the pool. She is ready to move on to the next step when she has reached 75% of her fastest time. Step 8. Angelica will start at the wall and swim a 50-yard backstroke. She will continue at this stage until she beats her best time she had with the open turn while using a flip turn. Step 9. Angelica will swim a full 100-yard backstroke with her flip turns at race pace. It is likely she will show signs of being overwhelmed as well as anxiety because this requires 3 turns while focusing on maintaining her best speed and technique. According to Richard Schmidt in Motor Learning and Performance, he claims that research suggests that anxiety is particularly high when people feel their performance is being evaluated. This will be especially true for Angelica because she will be the center of attention. All eyes will be on her every move, ensuring that she is grasping the backstroke flip turn. If needed, she can slow down the pace and practice until comfortable with 3 turns in one event. Once ready, she will continue practicing at race pace until all movements seem fluid, natural, and race ready. Step 10. Angelica's coach will have her swim the 100 backstroke 3 times at a race pace with timers, as well as videotape all 3 attempts. This will allow comparison to evaluate her improvement and how substantial the difference is in her times between the open turn and the backstroke flip turn. Progress. From here on out, Angelica will not be allowed to ever use an open turn. If she uses an open turn or shows hesitation, extra backstroke sets will be assigned to her as punishment. In order to properly measure Angelica's progress, we will also set goals for how soon she would like to move from step to step in the instructions provided. The best measurement will be showing her overall change in times for competition, especially because the goal in her learning this new skill is ultimately to improve her times. We will take her 3 times using the open turn and average them out, and take her 3 times using the flip turn and average them out. And then we can compare her average competition time using an open turn to her average competition time using a flip turn, and that will be a way of measuring the before and after differences. This is an example of average feedback. And to measure her progress throughout her training, we will be able to see how far she has progressed based upon what step in her instruction she is on. These steps flow in order of what she has mastered, so the higher the step, the closer she is to successfully learning a backstroke flip turn. Feedback. Feedback will be very important in ensuring Angelica's success of this skill. The majority of the feedback will be extrinsic. It will come from teammates, coaches, staff, videos, film. Kinematic feedback is feedback about the displacement, velocity, acceleration, or other aspects of movement itself. Examples of kinematic feedback that a coach could provide Angelica would be to tuck her knees tighter to help her turn faster, or telling her to bend her knees to a 90-degree angle to give her a good angle to gain maximum speed when pushing off the wall. The majority of this feedback will be information-based so that she can go try and attempt immediately after being given the feedback and fix it on the spot. Her practices will be taped so that when she's having trouble grasping a specific part of the turn or finding her timing and stroke, she can look to the video for feedback to identify what she is looking for and where she needs improvement. Modifications. If Angelica is progressing slower than normal, modifications will be used to help increase her progress. The goal is to have the backstroke flip turn mastered by Angelica's first swim meet. Using the step-by-step instructions, she can move at a pace comfortable for her. If she's barely progressing, then we will move to coaching in the water. This way, someone will be at her side and they will ease her anxiety of hitting her head and assisting her in her movements. This assisting can be physically helping her or using motions and signals to assist her in knowing when to execute a certain action. Practice time can also be increased. If she's not meeting her goals because she is still too scared, then positive reinforcement will be made necessary, whether it is through verbal praise or allowing her to sit out of certain sets as a reward depending on her success. If she is proceeding at a fast rate, then goals will be modified to focus more on execution of the skill alone than with it as part of the event. You will know you need to resort to modifications if Angelica is not meeting her timeline goals set. If she leaves herself 1 week to practice the flip turn away from the wall and she still cannot master it, then at her level this is a red flag and new options will need to be explored in helping her. If she is on steps 8 and 9 and she is not showing progress in meeting a standard good competitive time, then she can be timed at the level she's showing, and that can be compared to her expected time and her beginning times with the open turn to give an idea of how far she has progressed and how far she has to go so that her instructions can be properly modified.